Namaskar everyone, welcome back to Manuscript reading series. This is our fourth session today, and today being especially a very auspicious occasion of Mata Laleshwari Jayanti, we offer our pranam in the lotus feet of Sheva Yogini, whose wisdom and intellect we wish she continues to guide us, inspire us throughout this spiritual path. With that thought, I request Razdan sir to start where we left last week. Give me a second, I'll start sharing my screen. Yes. So, Razdan sir, we were on the 7th page where we had left last time.
Right. Shall I start?
Yes, please, sure.
Tripura Nandini Nanda Sunanda Survandita Yagya Vidya Mahamaya Vidya Mahamaya Vedmata Sudadriti Priti Pratha Prasidach Mridani Vindavaseni Siddhivedya Mahashakti Prithvi Narad Seveta Purohut Prayakanta Kamini Padmalochana Prahladini Mamata Durga Durgati Nashini Jwalamukhi Sugotrach Jyotiko Mudhaseni Durgama Durlabha Vedya Sargati Purvaseni Aparna Shambhari Maya Mandira Mraduhaseni Kulavagishari Nitya Nitkilena Krishodari Kameshwari Chinilacha Birundavanivasini Lambodari Mahakali Peshta Vidya Videshwari Tatha Nareshwari Ch Satya Ch Sarva Saubhagyavardeni Sankarshani Narsimhi Vaishnavi Ch Mahodari Katyayani Ch Champa Ch Sarva Sampatikarini Narayani Mahanetra Yogi Nidra Prabhavati Pragya Parmita Pragya Tara Madhmati Madhu Shirana Vasudahara Kalika Simvahana Omkara Vasudakara Chetana Kopana Kriti Ardhabindu Dharadhira Vishwamata Kalavati Padmavati Suvasracha Prabhudacha Sarasoti Kundasana Jagadatri Bodhimata Janeshwari Janimata Janendracha Sharada Hamsavahana Rajlakshmi Vashatkara Sudakara Sudatmika Rajniti Strivarta Dandiniti Krayavati Sadbhuti Starini Shraddha Sadgati Saparayena Sindhura Mandakini Ganga Yamanach Sarasoti Godavari Vipasha Cha Kavi Cha Shatireda Sariyo Chandrabhaga Cha Kavi Kumari Kundava Kumari Koshiki Gandiki Shuchi Narmada Karmanasha Cha Charmanavatit De Karmavatich Devi Ka Vetravati Tastach Varda Narvahana Sati pativrata sadhvi chaksho kundavaseni ek chakshu sahasrakshi Sushoni Bhagmaleni Sena Shreni Pataka Vyuha Yudhakaksheni Patakini Dayaramba. This is third page end.
Yes, so I think we will read one more line and stop.
Patakini Dayaramba Vipanchi Panchima Preya Parapar Kalakanta Trishaktir Mokshadayeni Aindri Maheshwari Brahmi Kumari Purvaseni Ichha Bhagavati Shakti Kamudenu Prapavati Vajrayuddha Vajrahasta Chandi Chanda Parakrama Gauri Suvarna Varnacha Siddhit Samharkareni Ekanika Mahejya Shatbahur Mahapuja Bhujanga Bhushana Bhusha Shakra Kramavaseni Chakra Vedini Shura Kaistha Kaivarjeta Susmita Sumukhi Kshama Mul Prakarati Ishwari Ajacha Bhuvarnacha Purushartha Pravarteni Rakta Nila Sita Shama Krishna Pita Chikarbura Prada Krishna Jara Vreda Taruni Kanalaya. This is fifth page.
Yeah, we can stop here. Shekharji, you want me to go back to the first page where we started?
Yeah. Yes.
This is where we left.
Rupuranandini Nanda Sunanda Survandita Vidya Mahamaya Vedamata Sudadreti Priti Priya Prasiddha Mridani Vindavaseni Siddhi Vidya Mahashakti Prithvinath Sevita Purohot Priya Kanta Kamini Padmalochana Prahladini Mahamata Durga Durgati Nashini. Shekharji.
No, sir. The first Nama we continue today is Tripura. Tripura is one of the most auspicious names for Bhagavati. The meaning is Tripura, one who existed even before the three. Now, what are these three? If we take the Panchastavi, especially the Laghustavi, we have a complete list of what are all the triplets, what are all the triads that are possible in this world. So, one who is beyond the triads. To understand, we'll just take one triad here. Ichha, Jnana and Kriya Shakti. We know that in the Trikadarshana, Parashiva is endowed with 5 Shaktis. Chit, Ananda, Ichha, Jnana and Kriya. Ichha, Jnana and Kriya, these 3 Shaktis are manifest and they become limited as we move down below, right from the Sadashiva Tattva onwards. For example, in the Sadashiva Tattva, the manifestation is of the Ichha Shakti. That is why Sadashiva Tattva represents the concept of Ahamidam. I am this, in a very, very subtle format. So there the world is still not, it's only abstraction. Just as in the knowledge process where the abstraction is first, here also it's an abstraction. So Ahamidam is because of the reflection of the Ichha Shakti. Then in the Ishvara Tattva, the Jnana Shakti manifests And the experience of Ishvara Tattva is Ahamidam Idamaham. When there is a perfect synchronization of I, that subjectivity and the objectivity. Then in the Shuddha Vidya Tattva, we have Idamaham, where that Idam becomes more prominent than the Aham. And going further, we have the Maya and the other 5 Kanchukas, where these 3 Shaktis, that is Icha, Jnana and Kriya, will become Sankuchita. No, they become contracted. And that will result in the Kala, the Kala, the Niyati, and the Kala and the. So, it is the contraction of the Icha, Jnana, Kriya. But there are 2 things which will never be contracted in Parashiva. That is his Chit and Ananda. His pure awareness, that is his consciousness and his state of bliss, never is contracted. So the state of Shiva Shakti is beyond the Icha, Jnana and Kriya contraction. So 3 Pura, one who is beyond the contraction. Once the contraction takes place, we have the experience of the world always represented by any set of 3. It can be the knower, known, and the process of knowing. We call as Pramana, the Pramata, and the Prameya. The entire world can be encompassed in the 3. There has to be one knower. Everything else which is knowable, will come under the Prameya category in the process of knowing. Like this. So one who is beyond this triplets is Tripura. So first Nama is Tripura, the most important name of Bhagavati. Then comes the next Nama, that is Nandini. Nand means to rejoice. Nandini, one who bestows bliss. In the sense, one who makes us realize our true nature, which is of the Ananda. So Tripura, Nandini. So what is before 3? It is the Nand. That is the bliss, the Atma Jnana. And how does it come? Because of it being pure awareness. Nanda, ever blissful, ever aware. Therefore, she is ever happy. She is ever delightful. Why? Because Acharya Kshemaraja says, because of her Swatantriya. Because she enjoys absolute freedom. Anyone who does not enjoy absolute freedom cannot say that he is having uninterrupted joy. Because there is always the fear of that comfort being taken away because of the presence of the second entity. Even the Upanishad says, Dvitiyatvai bhayam bhavati. When does the fear come? When the second entity is recognized, the fear is automatically generated in the mind. So she is Nandini, she is blissful, and Nanda. And she is happy at the same time, happy because of her Purna Swatantriya. Her complete free will, which is because of her being the nature of pure consciousness. Shuddha Chit or Parachit. So Nandini, Nanda. Then is Sunanda. Not only that, it is because of her grace, her anugraha, that all the sadhakas also are made to enjoy their own swarupa, their own true nature. So Sunanda is one who bestows the ananda by causing that pratyabhijnana, that recognition about the true self in the sadhaka. See here, the moksha is not attainment of anything; it is only recognizing. So by removing the trimalas, we are able to recognize our true nature. So she bestows that recognition. Therefore, the delight in the mind of the sadhakas also. So she is Sunanda. Suravandita, one who is worshipped by the Sura. Sura represents the Deva. In another way of looking at it is that Asura is from the word Asu. Asu means Indriyas. So one who is not bound by the Indriyas. They are Sura. That is, those who are able to rise above the knowledge through the senses. That is, they are able to see things as they are using their buddhi and using the shastra. That is why the even buddhi is to a large extent depends on the sensory inputs. Whereas if we go by the shastra comes to us through the Guru Parampara from Lord Sadashiva himself. Therefore, there is absolute authority of what to do and what not to do has to be taken only from the Shastra. So Acharya Abhinav Gupta says Sattarka. We have to employ the Sattarka. We have to employ reasoning. But the reasoning has to apply within the plane of the Shastra. So that the boundary is fixed by the Shastra wherein we apply the reasoning. So she is Sura Vandita, one who is worshipped by those who have absolute faith in the authority of the scriptural authority, that is Agama, the Tantra, and the Shruti, the Vedas. Otherwise, normally it means one who is worshipped by the Devas. The next name is Yajna Vidya. Yajna normally means an act of giving up for the sake of someone. That is the mula, that is the root meaning of the word yaj. Yaj, to give. Okay, so it's an act of sacrifice. That is why in English we translate or to mean it as sacrifice. The entire Shruti is revolved around the concept of yajna. Now the yajna can happen at a physical level, like how we are doing the yajnas. Okay, on a using the various materials by offering it as an ahuti. It happens at the mental level by when we say we have to give, we have to obviously give up the attachments. One, we give up the attachment on a particular object and hand it over to someone else. Obviously, here to the higher evolved beings, the devatas. The sense, so yajna in a way encourages the sense of giving up the attachment part. It's not necessarily giving up objects. It is more of giving up the attachment part. So yajna vidya, she is the knowledge of the yajna. So she makes us realize that the entire life is an yajna. Yajna is not merely restricted to a religious activity or a ritual. Every act of a person is a yajna if he lives by the tenet of giving up the attachment and for the larger benefit. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says that it is through the yajna that the entire cosmos is sustained. One cannot have an homogeneous life, or one cannot have a life where every living being is happy if we start hoarding and storing things for ourselves. We have to give up for the sake of others. So there he says, whatever the earthly beings sacrifice for the sake of the devas take it, and they in return give it back in the sense of a natural bounty, whether it is rains or whether it is good harvest and all the other things. So devan bhavayata anena te devaha bhavayanti. So you have to give up for the sake of others, so that they can also give for your prosperity. Therefore, parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah param avapsyata. Only when you do this paraspara bhavana, no giving up for the sake of the others, mutually, it cannot happen one way. Then shreyah param avapsyata. You can be, or you can actually reach the shreyas. Shreyas is what is actually good for the for ourselves and for the entire humanity per se. Yes, Razdan. Okay. So she is the Vidya. She is that knowledge which gives us the sense of the understanding of what yajna is actually. Not being merely restricted to an act of a physical act, but going beyond that. So she is Yajna Vidya. Then Mahamaya. Mahamaya is that state which in the Tattva scheme, she is the sixth. That is the Maya Tattva. Because she is in the in the threshold. She is in the crossroads between the Shuddha Tattva and the Shuddha Shuddha Tattvas. The Shuddha Tattvas being Shiva, Shakti, Sadashiva, Ishvara, and Shuddha Vidya. Then comes the Maya. Then the Kanchukas, which will start contracting the person, by which Shiva will become the Nara. So she is the one who is actually seeing both sides. She is seeing both on this side, where she sees that there is absolute pure I awareness becoming more and more solidified and objectified, and being separated from subject and object, okay, becoming two different entities. When we start, see, our understanding is that we are different from the other object that we are seeing. We are different from the other people. So this is our understanding, and that is how we are experiencing reality in our life. In the Maya Tattva, she is able to see this contraction, or rather she is the one who is causing this particular contraction. So she is Mahamaya. This term Maha is added before Maya just to differentiate from the worldly illusions, because even for the worldly illusions the word Maya is used, but this is different. This is a cosmic illusion, okay, in the sense not unreality, but the contraction which makes us forget what we are. So she is Maha Maya. Vedamata. So for the creation to happen, first that has to come out is the Shabda, the words. So when the thoughts and the words in an abstract form comes, then it manifests into the objects. So that Veda Vidya is represented by, that Shabda is represented by the Veda. The word Veda means with, to know. So that knowledge which helps us operate in the world is in the form of Shabda. So she is the Mata, one who measures the words. The word Mata also means mother, one who gives birth to, also means one who measures. So she measures the word, measuring in the sense the distinction of the Para, the Pashyanti, the Madhyama, and the Vaikhari. So the Veda mantras, so what we hear as Veda mantras, they are the Vaikhari Vak, but understanding and reaching through the words, the supreme state, happens once we understand the Madhyama and the Pashyanti part of the Veda mantras, so that we reach the Paravak stage. So she is measuring in the sense, she makes us understand these fourfold divisions of the Vak and realize the truth through the Vak, through the words. So Veda Mata. Sudha. Sudha means nectar. Okay, that which causes immortality. So obviously here immortality is not referring to any longevity of the body. It merely means reaching a state where there is no destruction. And that state is only when we shed all the three malas, we are free from the karmic bonds, and we reach or we realize our true essential core nature. So she is that Sudha, that nectar. Dhritihi. Dhriti comes from the dhatu dhr, to hold. So she is that functional property which holds everything together. For example, if there is a fire, fire is a fire as long as it can shine and it can burn. So these two qualities, we shouldn't use the word quality, we have to use the word property. These two properties of the fire, namely shining and burning, are the dharma of Agni. And Agni is the dharmi, one who possesses these two properties. So she is the one who is responsible for everything possessing their property which makes them. In the sense, she is the Satta. She is the underlying principle of existence on which every other objects gain their foothold. They gain their abstracted image forms and also their physical forms. So without her, none of these will exist. So she is the true substratum on which all play happens. So Acharya Kshemaraja in the second sutra of Pratyabhijna says, she is that wall on which the entire painting of the world is created. Just like without the wall, or with, let's use the word canvas, without a canvas, there can't be any painting. Without her, there cannot be any existence of the world separately. So she is that holding principle. She is that Dhritihi. The next is, am I able to see that? Sorry.
1 second. Yeah, sorry.
Priti Priya Prasiddhaja.
Pritihi. Pritihi is the quality which makes any particular object attractive for us. That is Priti. This is different from the Ananda. Ananda is not from the objects. The Ananda is our own true self. Whereas what we get from the object, that so-called Sukha, that we think that we are experiencing from the object, is because of a recognition of a particular quality which we associate to that object, that this object will make me happy. So either I want it for myself. So that attractiveness that is there in every object in the world is from her. So she is Pritihi. Then is Pratha. Sorry, Priya. Pritihi Priya. 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 Priya, Pritihi. Both these terms are very similar in the meaning. The difference being that Preeti is used in the sense of the abstract emotions, and Priya is used in the sense of more physical objects. So the attachment to the emotions is Preeti. The attachment to the physical objects is Priya. She is both. Prasiddha. Prasiddha. Normal usage is famous. Okay. When it comes to Bhagavati, what do we understand by the word famous? One does not require any other means of knowledge to prove her existence. It's like the colloquial use, to see the sun, you don't require a torchlight. The mere existence of the sun is enough. Similarly, you cannot or you do not require any other means of knowledge to prove her existence. So she is Prasiddha. So she is self-evident. Therefore, she requires nothing else to make her known. Prasiddha. Mridani. Mridani, one who is the consort of Mrida. One who is the wife of Mrida. Who is Mrida? Mrida is the name of Shiva. The meaning of the word Mrida comes from Mrid, to please. So one who pleases others. Therefore, he is Mrida. It is actually in this sense that Acharya Pushpadanta in the Shiva Mahimna Stava, he says, Jana Sukha Krite Satvodriktau Mridaya Namo Namaha. Jana Sukha Krite Satvodriktau. One who causes delight in people. Jana Sukha Krite. And this is not ordinary people we are talking. Delight in even the highest, highly evolved beings. Sattva Udrikta. Evolved beings like the Siddhas or the Jnanis. Even to them, he causes the Ananda. Why? Because he is that source of all the Ananda. Therefore, he is Mrida. So, Acharya Pushpadanta says, Jana Sukha Krite Satvodriktau Mridaya Namo Namaha. So, Mrida is, so wife or the consort of Mrida is Mridani. And it is another interesting aspect about the word Mrida is, in Sanskrit, we have certain ways to denote numbers. One is Bhuta Sankhya. Bhuta Sankhya is a cryptic way to indicate a number. For example, if the word Veda is used, then it will refer to the number 4. If the word Agni is used, it will refer to the number 3. So this is, if Bhuta is used, it will refer to number 5. So this is called as a Bhuta Sankhya. Usually in the Mantra Shastra, Bhuta Sankhya is used to denote it is used for the Mantra Uddhara. Because normally in the text, the mantras will not be spelled out as it is. For example, if we are having the Bahurupa mantra or the Aghora mantra, you will not see that entire Aghora mantra written as we are chanting in any of the texts, not even in the Mula Tantras. There the mantras, some part of the mantras will be given, the other part of the mantras will be indicated in a cryptic language. An usual form that they use is to give the position. Okay, for example, each of the tanmatras relate to a particular letter. So if they announce the position of the tanmatra, then we will have to understand that letter. Okay, so if they want to say the letter is Ka, they will indicate the number 2. Because in the count, after the Shiva Tattva, the next is the second. Okay, in enumeration, the second Tattva. Therefore, Ka will be used. So this is one thing. So when Mrida in the Bhuta Sankhya refers to the number 11. And the 11 is a collective number to represent the 11 forms of Rudra. You know, they are called as the Ekadasha Rudra. So these 11 forms of Rudra, okay, are referred by the single term Mrida. So Mridani means the sum total of all the 11 Rudras, the concert of the sum total of all the 11 Rudras. So one who is the wife of Mrida is Mridani. Vindhyavasini. Okay. Vindhyavasini is one who resides on the Vindhya mountain. Now, Vindhyas are somewhere in Uttar Pradesh, if I am right, somewhere near Allahabad, we have this place, the Vindhya ranges. It's a short mountain range. So the goddess Durga is supposed to have manifested herself in the Vindhya ranges. So Vindhyavasini refers to goddess Durga who manifested in the Vindhya ranges. Vindhyavasini. Next is
Siddhi Vidya Mahashakti.
Siddha Vidya. Siddha, like I said, there are two. One is Siddha, other is Sadhya. Sadhya is that which you have to manifest to make it come into existence. Siddha, which is self-existent. So she is that Vidya of the Siddha Padartha. The one and only Siddha Padartha is the Shiva Tattva. So, or Shiva and Shakti are always Abheda. So, all the others are manifestations. Only Shiva Shakti Tattvas are self-evident. Therefore, Siddha Vidya, the Vidya of the Siddha, that is the Vidya of the Shiva. So, she is Siddha Vidya. Mahashakti. Mahashakti, one who possesses great strength. Okay, that's an obvious meaning of the word Mahashakti. But here, Maha, there is something very interesting in the word Maha. The Shakti which results in the realization of Maha is Mahashakti. Okay. Now, in the process of evolution from the Shiva Tattva till the Prithvi Tattva, when we start enumerating, Shiva Tattva, all the 16 vowels represent the Shiva Tattva, starting from A. Then from Ka onwards till Ha represents the other 35 Tattvas. So if we count, 35 letters are there. So using this Pratyahara, no, this is in Vyakarana, this is one Nyaya by name Pratyahara Nyaya. Pratyahara Nyaya means you can start the first letter, you can state the last letter, So if it is stated, then it will mean that it refers to all the other letters which are falling in between. For example, when we say ach, in the Vyakarana Sutra, Ayun, Rilik, Evong, Ayauch. So starting from A to Cha, if you take all the other letters falling in between, it gives us the entire vowels. So this is called as a pratyahara. In Vyakarana Sutra, Panini's Vyakarana Sutra, this pratyaharas form are like the backbone. Okay, so by which he explains so many other grammatical operations. Same pratyahara nyaya is applied here. So when you say A to Ha, Aha, that is Shivadi Prithibhyantam. Aha. That Anuswar, is that unity, the sense of oneness between the Shiva and the Prithvi Tattva. So so always there are two perspectives. One is the Pati Dasha. Acharya Shemaraja uses these two terms. Pati Dashayam, Pashu Dashayam. Pati Dasha means from the standpoint of the Pati, from the standpoint of Shiva. When he looks at it, he looks from himself or himself encompassing all the tattvas. So for him it will be aham. So the Maha Mantra is aham for Shiva. What will happen to the jiva or to all of us? How will we look? We will look from the reverse, right? So we will have to look from the Prithvi to the Shiva. So the Prithvi is Ha, Shiva is A. So that unity, okay, so A, Maha. So Maha is that process by which the sadhaka becomes or learns to retrace his steps back to reach the Pati. Just as Aham is Shiva looking at how he has become this entire prapancha, Maha is the process of the sadhaka learning how to become Shiva. So Maha Shaktihi. And how does this thing happen? Only because of the grace of the Shakti, that anugraha of the Shakti, which happens during the Diksha, when the Guru, because of the grace of Shri Guru, one is able to get this jnana, or we call it as Rudra Shakti Samavesha, or this Shakti Pata when it takes place. It is this anugraha Shakti which results in this jnana, okay, in a sadhaka. So the jnana of Maha, okay, we becoming back, or we becoming Shiva Swarupa, is because of the anugraha of the Shakti. Therefore, she is Mahashakti.
Prithvi Nard Sevita.
Prithvi, earth, okay, normal. Another interpretation of the word Prithvi is one who is the seed of all the seeds. In the sense, one who is the cause of all the causes. So she is the cause of everything else whom we are thinking as a cause. For example, we may think that the clay is the cause for the pot. We may think that the thread is the cause for the cloth. But whether it is clay or thread, there is a supreme cause behind all these. And that cause is Bhagavati herself. So she is Prithvi, the cause of all the other causes. Narada Sevita. Narada Sevita, one who is worshipped by Rishi Narada, the Deva Rishi Narada. Why specifically Narada Rishi's name has come here is because in one of the, I don't recall the name, Narada Maharshi was graced by Mahavishnu, and he brought out the Gayatri Sahasranam. Just like this Bhawani Sahasranama, Gayatri Sahasranama was, the Rishi of Gayatri Sahasranama is Narada Maharshi. So she is the one who is worshipped by Narada Maharshi, refers to that aspect of Narada, who because of her Upasana was blessed with the 1,000 names, the vision of the 1,000 names of Bhagavati Gayatri herself. So Narada Sevita. Puruhuta Priya. Puruhuta, one who is perfect. One who is Huta, one who is worshipped in the perfect manner. Priya, the beloved. So one who is the consort of the Devata who is worshipped in the most perfect manner. Puruhuta Priya. So Shiva is the one who is worshipped in the most perfect manner. So Shiva Priya is the implication of Puruhuta Priya means she is Shiva Priya.
Puruhuta Priya Kanta.
Kanta. Kanta is the next nama. Kanta is one who is charming. Kaml, that is Dhatu. One who is most charming. Why? Because she is the one who is responsible for that first Icha itself taking place. So she is the Kanta. Kamini. Kamini, one who is affectionate. It takes the affection of the mother to understand the suffering of the sadhu. So that is why, however, in all our Shastras, even though Shiva Shakti Abheda is always there, but when it comes to the Upasana, all our Acharyas, they address her only in the feminine gender. Throughout his Pratyabhijna Hridaya, Acharya Kshemaraja only uses the word Sa, Bhagavati, Chiti. Okay, very rarely, wherever it is ontologically important, he will use the word Paramashiva Bhattaraka and all these things. But otherwise, she is always referred in the feminine thing because of the grace, which has to result in this jnana to occur. So she is Kamani, one who is affectionate. Kamini.
Padmalochana.
Padmalochana. One whose eyes are like lotus. Actually, Razdanji also read out one more nama which will come later if I'm right. Kumuda Lochana. So Padmalochana, Kumuda Lochana. Padmalochana, Padma means lotus. Kumuda means water lily. We all know that the lotus blooms in the sunlight and the water lily blooms in the moonlight. Okay. So Padmalochana, Kumudalochana refers to her two eyes being Surya and the Chandra, the two measurers of time. It is through her eyes, or eyes are here, the cosmic measurements of the time, because our entire Kala Ganana, okay, in our Vedanga Jyotisha and others, is based on the Surya and the Chandra. So Padmalochana, and the outward meaning means one whose eyes looks like the beautiful petals of the lotus or the beautiful petals of the water lily. It refers to her eyes being representative of the sun, the eyes being representative of the moon. That is, those who are Swayam Prakasha and those who shine with the Prakasha borrowed from others. Sun shines on its own. Okay, at the worldly level, I'm saying. It shines on its own light. The moon takes the light of the sun. So both kind of these padarthas, okay, are there in this world. So in our experience, we will be encountering both these padarthas. That is one interpretation which Acharya Bhaskar Raya gives for the two names in Lalita Sahasranam. Similar names in Lalita Sahasranam. But it also means one who is having the Chandra and Surya as her two eyes. Chandra, Surya, and the third eye is always referred as the Agni. So Chandra, Surya, Agni, Lochana. Okay, all the three are the three eyes.
Prahladini Mahamata.
Prahladini. Khlad means one who causes delight, one who causes pleasure. So Prahladini, one who delights all the sadhakas. Mahamata, one who is the great mother. Mahamata. The reason Matri Shabda is always the most perfect name for the for Bhagavati. That is why even Lalita Sahasranama starts with Shri Mata. That is the first nama in the Lalita Sahasranama. Okay. So Matru Shabda is, so many other interpretations for Matru Shabda are there. Why she is Mahamata? Unlike our worldly mother, who are responsible for this Janma alone, She, unlike them, is responsible for all our births. Therefore, she knows best what has to be given to us in respect to how we should realize our true nature. So she is the most benevolent mother. So she is Mahamata.
Durga,
Durga.
Durgatinashini.
Durga, one who is difficult to reach. That is why the word for fort is also Durga. One which is very difficult to assail, which very difficult to overcome. She is Durga in the sense that she is difficult to know. Difficulty being that, in spite of the fact that she can be realized in all our experiences, we are unable to do so. In spite of the fact that she is not anywhere else but our core essential nature, we are never able to even set our eyes towards her. The fundamental cause for this is we are wired to look outside, never inside. The Kathopanishad, there is a mantra wherein it says that when Prajapati Brahma created the beings, he directed all the indriyas outside. Paranchikhani vyatranat swayampu. So, tasmat parak pashyati na antaratman. That is why because all the senses are directed outside, we are unable to look inside. It is because of this natural wiring of how we are created, we are unable to look within ourselves. Therefore, we are not able to reach her, even though she is the most easiest to know. But yet, because of our imperfections, we are unable to do so. She is Durga. But at the same time, it is only she who can help us overcome this problem that we are facing. That is why in Devi Mahatmya, there is one line which says, Durgasi Durga Bhava Sagara Nauhu Asanga. Durgasi Durga Bhava Sagara Nauhu Asanga. Shri Kaita Bhari Hridayeka Krita Pratishtha. So the shloka goes. So the word Durga, Durgasi, you are Durga. Durga Bhava Sagara. This worldly existence, which is so difficult to cross, you are the Nauhu. You are that boat or that ship with which we can cross over this worldly existence. So even though we are unable to see, but that is not because of she is inaccessible, but because we are having an imperfection, so she is difficult to reach. At the same time, because of her grace, it can automatically happen. So Durga, Durgati Nashini, one who removes all the Durgati, all the obstacles, all the difficulties which the sadhaka faces in this path of the sadhana. So Durga, so even in the mantra shastra, the Durga, whether it is Shulini or any of her Swarupa, the mantra is given in order to help the sadhaka overcome the challenges of his sadhana. So Durgati Nashini.
Durgatinashini.
Jwalamukhi, is it? Next one.
Durgatinashini. Jwalamukhi Subhautracha.
Jwalamukhi. Jwalaji is one having the effulgence or the fire, okay, emanating from her mouth. That is the meaning of the name. Jwalamukhi. Here, Jwala, in the Mantra Shastra, refers to the fire of knowledge. So, the equation of Jwalaji is always with the Kundalini Shakti. So, Jwalamukhi is the Kundalini Shakti, which rises. So, there are two ways in which this Kundalini, the ascent of the Kundalini happens. One, it happens gradually, okay, when the sadhaka is able to rise from one chakra from the Mooladhara to the Swadhisthana, okay, to the Manipura, Anahata, like this. Gradual ascension is there. The second is that it happens in an instance. So this instantaneous rising of the Kundalini from the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara is represented in the Mantra Shastra by the Bhagavati Jwalamukhi. So Jwalamukhi. Sugotra.
My Ishtadevi. My Ishtadevi.
Jwalaji.
Yeah.
Okay. In Kashmir, there is a Jwalaji, no, apart from the Himachal.
Yes.
Okay.
Himachal,
Because
in Kashmir, we have a separate Jwalamukhi.
it makes perfect sense because the 5 devatas are treated together, are one manifestation of the Moola Durga. Okay, so the Moola Durga is there. Then comes the Sharika Devi. Then comes the Sharada Devi. Then comes the Jwalaji. Okay, and the fifth is the Bagalamukhi. So these 4 are the manifestations of the Moola Durga herself. So while we do the Upasana of Moola Durga, we also do the Upasana of the mantras of all the other 4 devatas. So it is one set. So it is quite right that all of these should be in one place. So we have Sharika, we have the Sharda. Obviously, the Jwalaji should also be there in that case. Sugotra, one who is from an excellent Gotra. Gotra is lineage. Even though she is unborn, she has no birth. Whenever she takes birth, it is a blessing for the parents that she is born in their family. For example, if she is born as a daughter of Himavan, it is the blessings on Himavan, because in the Devi Bhagavata we have one large episode wherein Himavan had performed severe penances to get Bhagavati as his daughter. So wherever she is manifested herself physically in the world, she has done so because of the great punya of the parents. Therefore, she is born in such high and lofty lineages and families. Sugotra.
Jyoti. Kumudahasini.
Jyotihi. Jyotihi. Jyotihi is that effulgence, that light, Swayam Prakasha. So she is that Prakasha Swarup. Therefore, Jyotihi.
Self-effulgent.
Kumudahasini. I think we explained the word Kumudahasini while doing the Padma Lochana itself. So Kumudahasini it was, not Kumuda Lochana. Okay. Kumuda is the water lily, one who smiles like a water lily. Kumudahasini.
Durgama Durlabha Vidya.
Durgama.
Difficult. Durgama Durlabha Vidya Swargati Puravasini.
Durgama, one who the meaning is same as the word Durga only. One who is Durgama, very difficult to reach,
Very difficult.
very difficult to attain, very difficult to reach.
Durlabha, not easily attainable.
Same. Meaning is the same. Durlabha. I think I will have to check from next class how the different shades of meaning is given by Sahib Kol Maharaj. Obviously, he would have definitely added some layer of interpretation to the names. I will try to do that in the next class.
Durgama,
So do we want to continue, or should we
I think with
stop
this
here?
Nama we can close.
Okay.
Okay, but this is a beautiful explanation. Shekharji, this is marvelous explanation. This is heavenly. This is divine. This is divine. I tell you very honestly. Kindly do something about printing this whole meaning in detail about it. Let it take time, but do this, because this commentary, I have read many commentaries about it, but such detailed and comprehensive, even word meaning. Such beautiful
Right.
explanation I've never come across. Kindly try to do something about it. Let it take a
Yes.
year, let it take 2 years, but do it. Do it for my sake.
Yes,
Do it
Razdan
for-
sir. We will
do
try
it
to
for
do
free.
something about it. Yes, yes.
But
I
Shekhar
will
ji,
note that thing.
I'm an old man now. I may not last long, but you do it for my sake.
Sure, sure, sure. We will. That's a good suggestion, Mara. We will do something about it.
God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless you all. Shekhar ji,
Yeah,
thank you
Shekhar
very
ji, do you want to continue this? These.
So the next one was Puravasini, right?
Yeah.
Durgama
Puravasini.
Durgama Vidya Swargati Puravasini.
Swargati. 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 Like Swarga is all the bhogas, all the pleasures that we enjoy. Not necessarily some heaven or as a separate place, but Swargati is one who gives the bhoga, one who lets us enjoy. So in our Trika system, the bhoga and moksha are not like two different opposite entities. It is only shift in perception. Even while that is why even in the Jivan Mukta, one we are living, you can still enjoy the worldly pleasures. The only thing is that you would have just changed the and Jnani's perception of what things are is slightly different from what a Baddha Jiva like us will be looking at that object. So Bhoga, all the Bhoga is that Swarga. So Swargatihi. Puravasini. Pura means the Sharira. Normally Pura means city. So when you use the word Nagpura, Nagpur, Pura means city. But body is the city. Even in the Shruti in the Vedas, it says Devanam Puhu Ayodhya, or the full mantra is Navadware Pure Dehe. This Deha, this Sharira, which is a Pura, and just like a city has multiple entrances, this body has Navadwara. There are 9 openings, okay, in this particular body. That is the 2 eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, the excretory, and the reproductive organs. Totally 9. So now, because of these, one is able to interact with the world and others. So this Pura means Sharira. So Pura Vasini, one who lives inside the Pura. So one who is the Atma Swarupa inside the Pura.
Every Atma.
Puravasini.
Every.
Yeah.
Puravasini. Aparna Shambari Maya.
We will continue that in the next.
Okay, we'll continue that in the next meeting.
Okay. We will stop here then. Thank you. Thank you, Razdan sir. Thank you, Shekhar ji. Thank you so much. We'll close the session today.
Thank you.
See you all next week. Thank you, Mara.
Thank you.